Hi, fifth and sixth graders. It's Miss Phillips here. This is going to be our second to last assignment for Esperanza Rising. And today we're going to look at some character development. So character development throughout a novel isn't really how a character is actually growing physically. We know Esperanza grows up physically. She's getting older, but we want to really look at how she changes throughout the novel. And so any good novel is going to have a character at the beginning that changes throughout the story and becomes someone new at the end. So we're going to take Esperanza Rising and really look at how Esperanza changes throughout the story, from the character we see at the beginning to the character we see at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can look at the worksheet that I am working on. So here is our character development sheet. And I've already put in my character to analyze is Esperanza. Now there's lots of different things how Esperanza is at the beginning of the book. I think one of the most notable and most obvious is that Esperanza is rich at the beginning of the story. So she is rich, lives a life of luxury, has lots of toys and nice clothes. At the end of the story, she lives a simple life and luxury, sorry. She lives a simple life, does not have nice things, and does not have lots of toys. Now, an explanation and actual textual evidence to show an event that led to this change. So one of the first things that really changes Esperanza in her life is the fire at El Rancho de las Rosas. That's one of the biggest things. So I'm going to look through my text. So I have my book right here, and I'm going to look through and try and find some evidence that supports this. Just getting closer. Wake up, the house is on fire. Okay. So on page 39, someone was calling her Esperanza. She opened her eyes. Esperanza, wake up, screamed Mama. The house is on fire. Smoke drifted into the room. So I'm just going to do that second part on page 40. So I'm going to put in quotations right here. Esperanza, wake up, screamed Mama. The house is on fire. And that's on page 40. So the fire is really one of the first things that leads to this downfall that we see in Esperanza's life. So her father is killed, and then we see the house catch on fire, which kind of leads to her eventual immigration to the United States and her working on labor farms. So my second piece of textual evidence that led to this change, I am going to find this quote probably closer to the back of the book. So we look kind of towards the front. I mean, page 40 is really the front of the book. But then to find the second piece of textual evidence, I'm going to move more towards the back. Let's see. Let's see, where is Esperanza? So even this one, we see here, this is just a piece of evidence showing Esperanza working at the fields and kind of what her life turns into. And it's on page 197. So this is just going to show her working at the fields. So she had been weeding Well, you know what? I'm actually going to use some voice to text here. I'm going to do my tools voice typing. Click to speak. So I'm going to click to speak when I'm ready. Let's see. Asparagus. In a far field, so she had been on the last truck, period. It was later than usual, period. She had been weeding, oh. So I'm going to stop my recording. So I'm going to just actually end it there. And I'm going to put my page number is 197. So this is something we would have never seen Esperanza do, right, in the beginning. Let me go ahead. I'm going to close. Maybe I do want to keep my little speaker box up. If you guys ever want to use voice to text, seriously, such a great thing, because you can read the quotes off and just go down from tools into voice typing, and you can just type it in. Seriously, so nice. So that's my first one. She goes from living in a life of luxury into this simple life. She doesn't have nice things. She's working hard for money, things like that. Now, some other characteristics that we can think of Esperanza. She was spoiled, selfish, I think she's, and I say selfish, I think there's some pieces of evidence in your book that you guys will be able to go back and see where Esperanza is a little selfish. And so now we need to use those antonyms, which is why I had you guys do that at the beginning of the week, to look at what's an antonym for spoiled. Maybe giving, or maybe selfless. So worrying more about other people. That would be a good one for selfish. She's selfless now. Spoiled, now maybe she's a hard worker. That could kind of go as an antonym from spoiled. Now she could be a hard worker. So we're going to use some of those antonyms to come up with different characteristics that you see in Esperanza from the beginning to the end. And so my example of her being rich and living in a life of luxury to living a simple life, working hard for her money, that's an example that I don't want you guys to use. I want you guys to really focus on more of like these examples down here that I'm giving you. So adjectives that describe her, like spoiled, like selfish, like, you could do lazy, you could do scared, you could do, so things that describe Esperanza, and they can be good things too. They don't have to, these adjectives I chose are kind of all negative. But I want you guys to really look at how Esperanza was at the beginning of the book versus how she is at the end. And you're going to need two pieces of evidence that support how these changes happened. So there are actually going to be, I think there's 4 in yours. Let's go on Schoology and I'll look. Go on to Schoology. And I was looking at Mrs. Tillman's, but I'm going to go into our book group now and go into Esperanza Rising. And for ours, I just copied and pasted it into a little document so you guys can pull it up. And then over here is a download button, so you guys can download it. Oh, it looks like there are only 3 pieces. So you guys are gonna have to do 3 different character traits for Esperanza and then come up with textual evidence as to how and why she made that change throughout the story. So you guys are gonna have to have your books or be able to look up this information. Super important. Also, I'm gonna leave a list of adjectives. So adjectives are those descriptive words that describe people. So spoiled, rich, funny, kind, mean, nice, all of those. I'm gonna leave a list of adjectives so you guys can really look at the list of adjectives as a resource, like, oh, that's a great word for Esperanza. And I actually wish I would have pulled it up already, but I'll make sure to put one in there and so you can use that as an adjective. I'm gonna give you Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do this assignment. So you guys can get it done on Friday. It'll be the only thing you have on Friday. But I'll also give you the weekend to work on it. And then I will post something new on Monday. This one might take you a little bit longer. So if you guys need extra time, just email me and let me know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it open until Monday night. So you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to work on it, but there will be one more assessment next week that's just looking at theme. And so be aware that maybe the assignments will overlap, but it's just so you can wrap one up without rushing through it and then start the theme one. So I'll give you some kind of a little bit of extended time. I think that'll be helpful since this assignment requires you to look through your book. I think that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, make sure just email me. Use the resources that you have. Look back at my video. Use the document. I'm going to leave a place for you to submit on Schoology, but also use that adjective resource that I'm going to put in there and really think about how Esperanza's character changes, so how she acts changes throughout the book. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck, guys.